Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane, and this week's conversation is around the July 2022 Stonemaier newsletter, and specifically, I guess, the reveal that the next Wingspan expansion is going to be based in the continent of Asia. Jamey has decided that he's going to go ahead and he presented the continent, and a single card is kind of just a teaser. He's not ready to announce the entire, kind of the layout. It's not ready to start talking launch. Viticulture World is still very much the current kind of focus for Stonemaier, but we did get a peek at the first card that has been made available for Wingspan Asia, and that is the Indian peafowl. Now, I'll go ahead and toss that up on the screen here as we look this over. We have a bird that'll fit into any of the environments we have in terms of the forest and the wetlands and the grasslands. Rather expensive bird-ish in terms of requiring 3 food, but at least one of them's wild. And then it is a 7-point bird with a additional 3 points available due to how many eggs it can carry. And as a win played power of all players, draw 2 from the deck, 2 bird cards from the deck, and you draw 1 additional. So rather large wingspan with 145 centimeters there. So not likely to be picked off by too many predators. Very cool to get the first peek there and to get an idea of what continent this is going to be on. So, me not really being a birder, I don't know what to hope for in terms of birds that we see. So, let me know in the comments if there is a particular bird from Asia that you're really hoping to see. Now, I don't have any additional information for you at this time. I did, just in the honor of transparency, I did proofread this one. So I have seen the bird cards. However, I can't confirm, what is in the expansion in terms of those birds. But at the very least, I would be really interested to hear, what birds maybe that I should keep an eye out for when eventually I do get a chance to check that out again. But that wasn't all. No, Jamey actually this one actually came out right after my video last week. The work in progress chart on the Stonemaier blog changed, even though it was between newsletters. And a new entry popped up on that newsletter, and the new entry is actually a 3rd expansion for Tapestry. Now, literally no detail beyond that. When we look at the work in progress chart, though, this thing went from not even being on our radar to already being complete with design, development, and playtest. Now, I know the fact that it's an expansion means it's going to already have an advantage in that regard. However, this thing's already done blind playtesting. Instantly, in one over the period of one newsletter, we went from knowing nothing to it being right there with codename Hive. So hard to imagine this isn't a 2023 release along with Hive. Although that being said, looking over the newsletter in July, we did have a couple of things, at least in June. Codename Draw was going to be a Q1 release. That was it was at least the estimate as of last month. This month it is back to a big question mark. What is going to, I guess, occupy 2023? It still looks like there's 3 titles: Draw, Tapestry Expansion 3, and Hive. And we will see, I guess, if the way things stand, we need another expansion. So what do you think, usually, because Stonemaier usually does the 2 full games and 2 expansions, what else could we see an expansion to besides Tapestry? Let me know what you're hoping for in the comments, and I actually have no information on what it could be. So it's a total guess for me too. So we can speculate together. No new titles. on the list this month. But the Stonemaier Wednesday live stream, I popped into it a little bit late. However, what I did watch was pretty fun. Unfortunately, it sounds like I didn't get to see the full announcement, and I haven't reviewed it since. It looked like Jamey's bedded, returned to his office. I understand Megan either had an exposure to COVID or fighting through being ill with COVID, one of the two. Jamey was testing negative, but just to be safe, keeping apart from each other. So hopefully, whether she's just got a sick or it is COVID, hope you have a real quick recovery, Megan, and a full one at that. I know if it is COVID, people can have symptoms beyond the illness. Hopefully none of that at all would be preferable. So speaking of that Wednesday live stream, there was a point in the live stream where Jamey mentions having a meeting, and I haven't decided yet whether or not I'll have that footage. I guess if you see it next, it'll be here. Otherwise, I'll toss the timestamp of where to look in the comments. I don't want to really step on Jamey's views, although if the odds of you watching me and not Jamey are slim. But in any case, he talks about having a conversation with somebody. He won't say who, that he was very excited about. And when I tell you that he was excited, I mean noticeably excited. I mean, it could be, so, we have the Stonemaier Discord, by the way, which I'll toss that link in the show notes again, just to make sure that you have it. But Jamey mentioned, or Jamey was excited. And so, so we did a little speculating, and we kind of got to thinking, and I say we, because it was me and my buddy Garrett from from the Discord, and we were talking. We're thinking IP address. We got a little bit of work there. A new IP. So maybe not Red Rising, because I think even though Jamey was super excited to talk to Pierce Brown, I don't know if it was directly with him or through his lawyers, or maybe it was both. But this one he seemed really enthused, and so we were wondering, is it another author? Jamey's mentioned being a fan of Brandon Sanderson several times. I know he backed his 4 mystery book Kickstarter, because I also backed that. And, probably right after I got that notice from Jamey that he had done it, and I looked into it. I was like, that sounds pretty good. So we were thinking maybe it's another IP-related game. Brandon Sanderson has some well-known IPs, whether it is Mistborn or the Stormlight Archive. And Garrett actually joked, he goes, it could be a Wingspan rethemed and be Wingspan, which you have to be familiar with. I think at the very least the Stormlight Archives. I don't know if Brandon Sanderson does a lot of shared universe stuff, so a lot of stuff takes place in the Cosmere, and so it could be, I think it was called something else in Mistborn, but Wingspan, if you get it, you get it. If not, me explaining it is not going to make it any more amusing, so I'll just leave it right there. Wingspan, I still got a chuckle out of that, Garrett. So that was kind of the big news this week. Wingspan Asia, we got the Indian peafowl. I did also get a message on Facebook from Natalia, one of the artists of Wingspan, and she may have a little bit something for us in the coming weeks. The Indian peafowl itself was actually drawn by Anna, and I think she's going to go ahead and see if there is any still pictures or video that I might be able to share, and if she passes that along to me, or puts it up on their own website, Red and Blue, or their Instagram, Red and Blue Designs, then I will happily direct y'all there to check that out. But if you've not had a chance to see these Wingspan cards, the way they were actually drawn, the size at which they're drawn, check it out. Check out Red and Blue Designs. I'll include a link to there too, whether or not we get any extra stuff from them. But I want you to take a look at especially the originals. You can buy prints of these birds, and the prints look really nice. I have I got, before they even started Red and Blue Designs, I got the scissor tail flycatcher sent to me, and where you can actually see those pencil strokes and how much work goes into these cards. If you think the Wingspan cards themselves are striking, check out one of these pictures. Check out one of these drawings. It's remarkable. I'm always going to be a fan of talent. I'm always going to be a fan of people who share their process like that. And it's so remarkable. My daughter is a bit of an artist herself, and I think she's tremendous, and I see how much work she puts into her art, and just the amount of time. People are like, you have a talent, which, yes, it's true, some people are predisposed, but like, give these people, these artists, these ladies, as it relates to Wingspan, give them like full credit for the amount of time and practice and effort that they put in to hone this skill. Because like, I know if I sat down and drew 4 hours a day, I'd get pretty good. I don't think there's ever a universe along any timeline having any amount of time that I would be able to even approach what my daughter can do, but certainly not approach what Natalia and Anna are doing with these cards. So do yourself a favor, check out the originals. If they let you zoom in, take a look, or check out one of the ladies' Instagram accounts where they share pictures of the work in progress. I have a feeling you'll be impressed too. I have to imagine you're already following them, but if not, the comment section is going to be the show description is going to be a huge link fest this time around, because I want you to see that. And that is all I have for you this week. I was excited to talk about this one, not just for Wingspan Asia, but by hearing from Natalia, and seeing Wingspan Tapestry just blast onto the scene, or Wingspan Tapestry. That, someone on the live stream did mention we need a green gully, which is, our Charterstone world right there. We need an expansion for Wingspan. And Jamey liked the idea, but said he didn't think it would happen. But in any case, there's a lot of excitement. So Tapestry Expansion 3 popping onto the scene. Tapestry is my son's favorite Stonemaier game, so what always makes me happy there is I never have to beg for a game. I don't really have to beg for a game anyway, but like, that one is one where he's actively going to seek me out and say, hey, we going to play this? And it looks like we could have a new one just in time for next year. So very exciting there, probably early next year based on how far along it is. Very exciting indeed. So I had a good time this week, much better time than kind of how heavy last week was, and certainly nothing's changed. We are still in the situation that we were in last week, and probably will be for an unfortunate amount of time, but despite the chipper tone and being more upbeat, I just want to tell you, I'm still thinking of this. I'm thinking of everybody who's affected, everyone who is fearful by the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and it's just it honestly, some days it feels like the hits just keep coming. So if someone's struggling, reach out, try and lend them a hand, try and I'm a firm believer that the universe tilts towards good, that the universe tilts towards justice, and it might not always be in our lifetime, or all we really have control over directly with our own two hands is is ourselves and what we do and how we help others. So yeah, I would just encourage y'all that if you do know somebody who is fearful or worried or concerned, I mean, it's not like you can make those things go away, but you can lighten the load by listening, if that's something that would benefit them. And so let me just encourage you again this week to take care of yourselves. Number one, you have to take care. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to take care of yourself. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and that's how we're going to get through this together. This is how, even in the good times, it's going to be better. And in the bad times, we can make it better. I believe that. If we look out for each other, one-on-one, just it's going to be, it'll be a better deal, be a better situation. I know it. So hopefully this week finds you in a better mental state. And if not, man, I'm still right there with you. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping, as I said, that the universe tilts towards justice, it tilts towards good. And man, whatever your hardship is, if you're facing one, hope it's short-lived. And yeah, again, thank you so much for joining me once more on the mill. Thanks for checking out an episode. Thanks for hanging out if you hung out for the whole thing. And let me know in the comments what bird you want to see in Wingspan Asia. What original red and blue creation, or red and blue company design, what original bird were you hoping that you'd snag and it's just not on their website? I guess there's only one original, right? So you got to act fast. So one thing I did pick up from, I'm just going to make this longer. One thing I did pick up from Natalia is once Wingspan Asia is announced or available, that is when the birds are going to go up for sale. So if you want any of the originals from Wingspan Asia, once you know what they are, if you have a favorite there, make sure you check early to get that original if that's something you want hanging on the wall. The prints are beautiful too, but man, I want to see one of those originals. I really do. I'm waiting for the right opportunity to find the right bird that I pick up the original for, because it's not likely I can pick up more than one. But yeah, I think that'll be cool. So maybe I'll tell you all about it after I buy it. So you can't compete with me. Again, take care of yourselves and each other.